Hey guys, Zippo here. What I'm going to be doing today is just a little thing that I'm doing anyways, and I thought that it might be something that could help some of my subscribers and people out on YouTube. Just a little tutorial video I'm going to put together while I'm doing this for myself, because I think it's a great idea. What I'm going to be doing today is mounting my safe to the foundation of the house. That might seem overwhelming or complicated. I spent about 2 or 3 hours watching YouTube videos last night learning how to do this. What I'm trying to do here is make one video that you guys can watch. One of the reasons I'm making this video is Saline Manual just got a safe. I don't know if he mounted it to the foundation or not, but I'm going to send him, he's subscribed to me, so I hope he watches this video and maybe just I don't know, he could have already done this, but that just kind of gave me the idea. Lots of people are going out and buying safes, but I don't know many people that have talked about mounting the safe to the foundation. And mainly my reasoning for this is I've gone and done all the shopping for it, and in my personal opinion, it's going to cost me about $5. $5 is what it's going to cost me to mount my safe to the foundation. Immovable. Cannot be moved but from the inside. You have to remove the bolts from the inside. So without gaining access to the safe, I've seen some videos that I've watched, just with one of these bolts that I'm going to put in, they tried to lift it up with a 10,000-pound forklift and they couldn't lift out one bolt, and I'm putting 4 bolts in this safe. I think it's a $5 investment that can secure your $1,000, $2,000 investment in a safe. You think it's safe? How many people did it take to move that safe into your house? Because that's how many people it will take to move that safe out of your house in the back of a truck, take it to wherever they want to go, and they've got all day and all the time they want to try to break into it. It doesn't matter how long it takes to break into your safe if your safe's not bolted down, because it's going to take them 2 or 3 minutes to break into your house, locate your safe, get your safe into the back of a pickup truck, and leave. And then they've got all the time they want to break into it. So I'm just doing this quick tutorial. I'll quit talking about it, but the first thing I'm going to have to do, I've just got this little box safe. It's actually upside down right now. The first thing I did, of course, was remove all of my stuff out of the safe. And I'm putting in 3/8 inch bolts. And there's several different ways to do this. But the way that I've found that I've decided to do is using drop-in anchors. This is a 3/8 inch drop-in anchor. Personally, why I chose that is one of, I think it's the second, it's at least in the top 2 or 3 strongest mounting systems. There's drop-in anchors, there's wedge anchors, there's hammer-in anchors. There's all different kinds of different ways to do it. This is in the top 2 or 3 strongest ways to do it. But the idea that I like about it is I'm still living at home. So eventually, not anytime soon, but several years down the road, I plan on removing this safe. And some of the other ways, there's no way to remove the safe after you've installed it without leaving a nut or a bolt or something sticking out. This way, the only thing that's going to stay that is immovable is this little metal anchor that's down inside of the foundation. So I can remove the bolts and maybe fill it in with liquid cement or something, and there'll be 4 holes in the carpet, but other than that, really not that noticeable. You don't have bolts sticking out of your foundation for the rest of the life. Now, when I move into my own house that I plan on staying in for the rest of my life, I might use a different mounting system, but I like this one the best. I'm going to shut up and get to this because I'm already at about 4 minutes. So I took everything out of my safe. One thing I noticed is my safe, this is a Brinks safe, it does have 4 holes in each corner to be mounted. But this is a pretty small safe, and the holes that are pre-drilled in it are a little bit smaller than what I would like. I want to use 3/8, and these are probably about, they look about 1/4. So it's a little bit smaller. So I've just got my Milwaukee power drill, and I'm just going to widen. I'm going to use the same holes, but I'm going to widen them out to 3/8 so I can use the size bolt that I want. I'm not going to make you guys watch this for time's sake. So, well, you can watch me start. Oh yeah, and another thing I flipped the safe upside down. Why I did that is because I have a smaller safe that I can't get my drill. See, my drill is taller than my safe, so I can't drill it from the inside. If you have a bigger safe, you don't have to do that. You can drill it from the inside, and that's just fine. Alright guys, I'm back, and we are done drilling our holes. I've got a couple more things I'm going to add in here before I flip her over and go on to the next part. One thing, when you drill your holes, go ahead and make sure that the bolts you're using will fit and fit nicely, because you don't want to set your anchors and then find out you can't get the bolt in or something like that. It just is a bad idea. Another thing you're going to need for this whole project is a good quality vacuum, shop vac or something. But I'm going to add in right here a fire hazard. If you do have to drill through metal, these metal shards, you're going to need to vacuum them up, but you want to wait, I would say at least a good 5-10 minutes before you vacuum these up, because the metal shards coming off are going to be very, very hot, and if you vacuum them up right after you're finished drilling, there's a good chance that the inside of your vacuum bag is going to catch on fire when all of those get thrown in with the dust and stuff that's already in your vacuum bag. So I've let these cool off, and we're just going to vacuum up the bottom of the safe real quick. Alright guys, for the next step, I'm just going to talk you through if you have a bigger safe. If you have a bigger safe, hopefully you've been able to skip all of these steps. You don't have to drill holes, all you have to do is put it in place. If you have a big safe, what you want to do is drill the foundation and set your anchor while the safe is in place. You don't need to move it. Actually, do not try to like mark it and then move it and set your anchors and move it back. It's not a good idea. If you have a safe that is big enough to drill it and set your anchor and then bolt it in all from like within the safe, even if you can't get all the way in the safe, if you can fit a drill, if you have a gun safe, do it all in the safe. You're not going to hurt the bottom of the safe. Drill right through it, take all your junk out, drill through the bottom, set your anchors, and bolt it down. And I'm going to get into how to set the anchors and stuff like that later. But just vacuum it out and do it all like that. With this little safe, that's not an option for me. Also, because I have the smaller holes and I had to drill them out, my anchors won't fit through the holes. So what I'm going to have to do is kind of tutorial is I'm going to have to mark the holes and then move the safe and drop the anchors in. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to take a Sharpie and make sure your safe is not moving at all. Make sure you've got it exactly where you want it, because after you do this, it ain't going to move. And then take a Sharpie and just go in and trace and mark all out where you want to mount it. And once you have that done, if you've got a small safe like me, you just want to move your safe out of the way now that you got your marks. And then we'll get to the next part here in just a second. I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright guys, I'm back. I had to run down the street real quick, but we've got our safe moved to the side. We've got our holes marked. I just wanted to add in a quick tidbit about networking. Knowing other people, the idea that you can't do it alone. It's important now. It's, in my opinion, more important if the shit hits the fan. Because no matter how prepared you are, you forgot something. There is something that you don't have. Case in point, I have a pretty nice collection of tools that I've just collected over the years. Every time I do a project, it seems like I'm up at Home Depot and I'm getting new tools. And they just add up and pile up like everybody's does. I don't know many people that have more tools than I do. But there's always some kind of tool out there that I don't have. And this is a perfect example, because two tools that I didn't have that I need for this project are a 1/2 inch masonry bit and a punch. I have masonry bits, but I don't have a 1/2 inch masonry bit. And I didn't have a punch. So what do? I drive down the block to my dad's house and I go get a masonry bit and a punch. And he does that all the time because I've got a big air compressor and he doesn't have a big air compressor, so he comes over and borrows that all the time. There's tools that I have that he doesn't have, and there's tools that he has that I don't have. And it just works out great for the both of us. But I'm going to go ahead and chuck in my 1/2 inch masonry bit and start drilling these holes. Alright guys, I'm back again, and as every good manly project consists of, several trips to Home Depot. So I just got back from Home Depot, got me a new masonry bit. I went over to my dad's house and got his masonry bit, but it's kind of old and it's not that sharp, and it's just really not working for me. So I went up and spent $3 or $4 on a masonry bit that I'll have for the rest of my life. So I think that's a pretty good investment. So back to drilling I go. Okay, now that we have our holes drilled and we've checked their alignment, keeping in mind that if you have a bigger safe with bigger holes in the bottom, it is much more easier, much more effective, and just a lot safer bet to do all of this without moving the safe. Do all of these things that I'm showing, but do them from inside of the safe, because I just drilled all my holes, and I can align 3 of them in any way. The front 2 align, and I can either align the back left or the back right. I'm not too worried about that because I've seen one of these bolts withstand a 10,000 pound forklift, so I feel secure with 3 bolts. But if you're putting a lot of valuables in this and you want this really done right, do this all from the inside of your safe, if at all possible, because it will yield much more accurate results. But if you have to do it like I'm doing it, in my opinion, I think 3 corners is good enough, because that provides security from leverage from any direction. If you only have two corners, opposite corners, might be alright, but personally, I would redo it. Just move it over, pick a different location, and I would redo it if you only get 2 to align. I'm happy that I've got 3 to align. I think that's fine for me, for at least right now. So what you want to do